We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for our special WWE SummerSlam 2021 and NXT TakeOver 36 pay-per-view preview. I am here with an all-star cast from True Hill Heat, from GiveMeSports. We have the best of the best here to preview one of the biggest weeks in WWE history, honestly. So much going on, and we're going to break it down right here for you. First of all, I have the connoisseur of reporting himself, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon.
What is up, everybody? If you're watching on YouTube, definitely pay attention to the polls we're going to put throughout this preview and vote. We want to hear from you.
Absolutely. And we have with me my co-host from True Hill Heat, the resident True Hill alcoholic himself, Top Guy JJ.
What's up? I might have to retire the alcoholic thing for about another month or so because ain't no alcohol coming in my system for a little while. You know, the whole rebuilt thing.
It makes sense. It makes sense. And we have a very special guest to celebrate our SummerSlam week. I told you we got the best of the best here, and we have one of the spiciest Twitter pages in all of wrestling Twitter. You might have saw his Twitter featured on AEW's Rampage promotion and his opinion of Orange Cassidy. He is a Tinder king. He is also a hot take king. He is the lead WWE writer for GiveMeSport, the one, the only, the golden boy, Louis Dangoor.
Thank you guys for having me. I don't know about that. It was a nice introduction. Don't know how accurate some of the things are. Tinder, something about Tinder King. Don't know how accurate that is. Hot take king. My hot takes are awful, I've been told.
That's what makes it a hot take. That's what makes it a hot take.
Yeah,
true. As Orange Cassidy told me. But yeah, all good my end, and I'm looking forward to chatting about wrestling with you guys. Thank you very much for having me on.
Glad to have you on here, Louis. Your second time on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, and you're here for a good time this time. So, Romeo, we're going to start off with NXT TakeOver 36, your forte, the host of NX3. But before we get into that, a quick reminder to everyone watching, give this video a thumbs up, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified. We have live content and signature content all this week to celebrate SummerSlam and our 4-year anniversary on Saturday with True Hill Heat 139. And if you're watching us live in the live chat, please give us your opinions, your predictions for WWE SummerSlam 2021, as well as NXT TakeOver 36. We got a couple of people already in the live chat ready to watch. We got Fifth Generation Carney saying, hope everyone's doing well. We got John Elite saying, hey guys. We got the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson saying, what is up, good brothers? And JJ from The Distraction, he's here again. He's here to troll the other JJ, the rivalry of JJs. JJ of The Distraction versus True Hill Heat JJ. He says, hello everyone. And he says that Louis is bad at Twitter King.
Sheesh.
I am. No, it's become a bit of a gimmick now where I'm just bad at Twitter. But the worst thing is I don't try and intentionally be bad, which I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
That's a trait in life. If you're not intentionally trying to do it, I think it's a certain talent that it takes.
Yeah, I think, like as you say, the fact I don't try and be as controversial as I am is a skill. But is it a good skill? That's what I'm still figuring.
It's a skill that gets attention.
This is true. But
attention is always a good thing. You know, depends on how you spin it.
Exactly. That's the thing. Is it good attention? Is it bad attention? Who knows?
And it's not every day on True Hill Heat YouTube channel. We have a blue ticker here with us. Louis is a part of the blue tick community, so you're very important.
Somehow
Verified.
I don't really know how, to be honest, but I am. I'll take it.
Take it and run with it. But Romeo, you are usually the pilot on NX3, so you know the TakeOver 36 card better than anyone on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. So I'm going to ask you to take it away.
Yes, we have a 5-match card as it stands currently. I guess they can add the NXT Breakout Finals, or they could save it for next week's NXT. Do you think they're gonna add that?
Maybe the pre-show. You never know. Could do something like that if they want to amp up the pre-show.
Yeah, they don't have anything going on for the pre-show yet, right?
No, they usually don't announce anything until like the day of. Usually, so.
Yes. Straight.
Was there
NXT.
even anything on the last pre-show?
I think it was like Saray and Zoe Stark versus the Robert Stone brand.
But they didn't air that. They saved it for NXT.
Yeah. No, they didn't even show it on NXT. I think it was just for the live fans there. While
you're right.
While Sam Roberts and the guy from Sports Illustrated were talking on camera. So
nice.
We shall see. It would make more sense to do it next week. We can still predict it though. The breakout tournament, like who's going to win tonight and who's going to win the finals.
Yes, so it's Carmelo Hayes versus Duke Hudson tonight, and the winner will face the big man, Odyssey Jones. I think Carmelo Hayes wins tonight, and sheesh, I don't know about the finals. I'll say Odyssey Jones. This is the new NXT. The big man goes over.
And that's why I'm going to go with Duke Hudson. It's going to be Duke Hudson to get the victory over Carmelo Hayes, and then Odyssey Jones is going to be Duke Hudson. It also makes sense because Duke Hudson is a heel. Carmelo Hayes is kind of a baby face, so it would be a heel versus baby face in the finals with Odyssey Jones and Duke Hudson.
I kind of agree. Yeah, I mean, last week I was pretty confident that it was going to be Trey Baxter and Carmelo Hayes in the finals. Which just didn't happen. And then kind of when we're hearing about new NXT, which is just big guy, probably Duke Hudson and Odyssey Jones in the final with Odyssey Jones going over. But I tweeted this. I think this was actually a good take this week. If Odyssey Jones isn't on the main roster by this time next year, I'd be shocked.
I would be too.
He's green, but he just looks like someone they'd love. So I'd probably say he'll go over.
He has a huge amount of charisma as well. So that's why I think that he's someone that they can bring to the main roster and develop there. Although, developmental he should be developing in NXT, but they never wait for that type of stuff. How about you, Top Guy JJ?
Damn, man, this is crazy, man. Because I really wanted Carmelo Hayes to win this whole tournament. I mean, it just felt right. It just felt right. But then, we get the whole no more midgets thing going forward. So, I mean, you got Odyssey Jones. I mean, this bucket of charisma here that looks like he's the perfect person. When they pull to the main roster, they'll turn him heel within 8 months and give him this badass attitude. Like you could just see the writing on the wall. So I'm gonna go with Odyssey Jones winning the tournament, but beating Carmelo Hayes at that.
So we got different predictions there for the breakout tournament. Let us know in the live chat what you guys think. Of course, super chats are always appreciated, and it makes sure that we highlight your comment. We got Nick Jackson saying, while I agree with Romeo, I'm going to go with Duke Hudson, even though I'm a big Carmelo Hayes fan. I think we're all Carmelo Hayes fans, but the new NXT, got to remember the new NXT. Romeo, let's go through the actual TakeOver card.
Yes, and this is the order I think it's going to be in. I think they're going to start off with the $1 Million Championship. Butler, Cameron Grimes versus $1 Million Champion, LA Knight. And, of course, if Grimes loses, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, who does not look like that nowadays, will be...
Yo. The picture from 30 years ago is hilarious.
They love doing that. He will be LA Knight's new Butler. I think this has been one of the, if not the most entertaining storyline on NXT, or at least the most well-done storyline recently. And I think Cameron Grimes better win if we are ever to take him seriously, ever again.
Should be very interesting match indeed. Let's start with Louis this time. Who you got, Cameron Grimes or LA Knight?
I want Cameron Grimes, but I also want Ted DiBiase to be the Butler because I think you'd get some really cool stuff there. But I am going to go for Cameron Grimes because I don't think he loses again. But kind of like you guys have said, it's been a really entertaining story, a really well done story. The vignettes have been funny. So I kind of hope we see more of that moving forward, kind of regardless of which direction this story goes. But yeah, Cameron Grimes to me. To win.
How about you, Top Guy JJ?
Yeah, man, I got to go with Cameron Grimes here because it's a matter of if he loses, what's the next stipulation? There's nothing else after this.
Yeah.
You know, unless they happen to magically pull Virgil out of the fucking wherever the hell he's from to make him, you know, to do something else with him. It's like there's nothing further after this. So like you can't make Cameron Grimes lose any more than he's already lost. Like, so it's to the point is, yo, if he doesn't win, you know, as Romeo said, how are you going to ever take him seriously in booking? Like you can't take him seriously if he never wins any big matches.
Yeah, I think I got to make it unanimous on this one. Cameron Grimes has to win. He must win. I've said it time and time again. I know we have a new NXT, so I feel like guys like Odyssey Jones and Duke Hudson are not far off from getting in the main event scene. But if they're going to pick and choose one midget to break through, the one with enough charisma is Cameron Grimes. So Cameron Grimes could be that guy to potentially soon to be NXT champion. So, but he needs to win here to even get there.
Pretty much.
We have our fun there, Cameron Grimes to the moon, and then it's time to get brutal because it is the rematch for the NXT UK Championship. Walter versus Ilya Dragunov. The first match, just absolutely brutal match of the year candidate. My personal match of the year. Now we run it back, and this time in front of fans. This could be the match of the weekend. I am going to say, and still, Walter retains in another just brutal, close to 5-star match.
I would tend to agree since Ilya Dragunov can't even beat Pete Dunne, the guy that Walter beat. So, I mean, that would make sense. But over 800 days as champion, I think it's about time we make that change. Ilya Dragunov, I thought was going to win the first match, and I do agree that match was a match of the year candidate. It was the best match that I saw in any empty arena. It added to everything with the strikes, with the visual of Ilya Dragunov's body getting bruised and battered. And it was honestly one of my wife's favorite matches that she saw last year. Like she was just like rooting for Ilya because she was like, that poor little boy, he's getting beaten by Walter. Walter's a grown man and he's beating up this boy. So she enjoyed it. I know she's gonna enjoy this one. But I think that it's time for Walter to take the L and maybe move up to the proper NXT or feud with someone coming in like a Davey Boy Smith Jr. I think that's the type of feud really doesn't need the NXT UK Championship. And I think it's time that Ilya Dragunov gets to that next level. So I'm going to go with Dragunov here. Who you got, top guy?
I tend to agree here. I tend to agree that Ilya Dragunov has to. I kind of feel like he has to win this match because NXT UK needs another star. Like they really don't have anything other than Walter that is really recognizable from this side of the ocean. You know what I mean? Like there's guys from the UK that probably can just run off a bunch of names from the NXT UK, but we don't really know them other than Walter. So they need to establish someone else if they want to even have this brand even taken seriously. Because 800 days, 1,000 days is great, but you ain't defending the shit against nobody and ain't no rivalries. It doesn't mean anything. So let's get this going. Let's see if we can get a part 3 out of this, a third match out of this, and you know make the most of this. But NXT UK needs another star, bad.
It definitely does. We don't know what the future holds for NXT UK. I know there's been rumors that the officials are going to NXT UK to look at their talent, similar to what they did with the Performance Center, and we all know what that led to. 13 people getting cut from NXT just a couple of weeks ago. Louis, you are the expert here. You're in the UK, so your foot is on the ground at the very least. So who you got in this one for the NXT UK Championship, Walter versus Dragunov 2?
So I think Ilya Dragunov wins, but what I think happens to kind of make sense of what happened last week, which makes no sense. I think Pete Dunne gets added to the match to kind of make it a 3-way. And that way, if they did want to protect Walter, you could have him not eat the pin and have Ilya pin Pete Dunne. Kind of like, I would normally say this, but it just was such not an NXT move to have your guy that's challenging for the title against Walter, who hasn't been beaten in years. like kind of Survivor Series excluding. So I think that it just didn't make any sense. So to make any sense of it, I kind of think this is going to happen, where Pete Dunne gets added, and that way you can protect Walter, have a rematch down the line. Maybe things are opening up here in the UK, so maybe they're planning sort of a takeover event where you can have him. I presume he's going to be on the card for the UK shows next month that they're doing over here. So maybe like you do Walter Ilya again on some of those shows. But yeah, I think that Ilya Dragunov wins, but not by pinning Walter. I do think that Pete Dunne gets added probably tonight on NXT. Well, definitely tonight on NXT. They're not announcing on social media kind of team.
They would do that though. But so you think we're gonna see somewhat of a swerve, because they've already done like the prime target hyping up this matchup as Walter versus Dragunov 2. And it just, I know that
just the booking makes no sense last week. Like if they don't,
this is the new NXT though, and Pete Dunne's contract is expiring. That's what I thought the move was for.
But like, if I'm Pete Dunne, that doesn't make me want to re-sign, because I'm like, it just doesn't make sense with the booking. You try and make people sign with good booking, not booking that is like so favorable to them that it doesn't make sense. Like to make any sense of what happened last week. And I think Pete Dunne is the sort of guy that will go like, no, like this doesn't make any sense. So I do think that he gets added tonight. I hope.
Louis, you don't argue with the booking when you're going over. You don't argue.
Yes, I know. Maybe it's a bit of naivety on my part. You listen. If you're going over, you take it where you can. But I think that to get like, I think he gets added just to make some sense of it, because it was so not an NXT move. If this was on the main roster, I'd be like, yeah, sure, like who cares? But I just think it's so not an NXT move that I do think he gets added.
I think it might be setting up Dragunov versus Pete Dunne for after takeover. That's what I took that as, after just trying to make any sense of that stupid booking that Romeo is in defense of, and probably why he's picking Walter in this one. So have a question.
Because I think Pete Dunne is going to be the next NXT champion if he's resigning. Wow. And they're already teasing Dunne and Joe for weeks now. So that's coming up next, and depending who your pick is for that last match, it kind of makes sense.
He wouldn't lose anything if he took the loss to Dragunov though. If he could have had Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher come out and distract him, they could have protected him in the way that they tried to protect Dragunov by having the distraction. Even though at this point, when a babyface is distracted, he just looks like an idiot. It's a little different when it's a heel. The heels are supposed to look like idiots. When a babyface does it, he just looks very, very dumb, and that's what Dragunov looked like. But we got a question here for you, Romeo. Who's next for Walter if he retains here?
Jeez, I don't know. You guys are first putting the seed in my head that Walter going to NXT roster, but if he retains, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an NXT UK expert. I'm an NXT expert.
To be fair, do you see, Louis, Walter seeing a way to permanently be in the NXT brand? It's kind of far-fetched.
I think if he was going to be in the US, he'd be on the main roster already.
Exactly.
Like, not even like if he was going to be in the US, he'd be there. Like,
yeah, he ain't coming to the States to be in some developmental.
No. I agree. Like, I think the only reason he's in NXT UK now is because he likes living in Europe, particularly now with COVID. Like, I've been trying to get over. Like, I know if you're an athlete, you get some kind of exemption, but I've been trying to get over for All Out, and that is looking so unlikely. So travel's not the easiest right now. So I can't see him going up to the main to NXT. Maybe like, listen, if this was old NXT where they were batch taping, like, for a few months, I'd be like, sure, because he can go over for a week, come back. Who cares?
Well, they're returning to that, aren't they?
But they're returning to that until the middle of September, when it's back to live, is what I think PW Insider said. So it's not like a permanent change.
Right.
But yeah, I just can't see him going there full time. Listen, I don't know the guy personally. His situation may have changed where he wants to go over. But I just can't see it. Kind of what I did know previously, and kind of what's been reported and he said, I just don't think a full-time move is something that he wants.
Makes sense. We got JJ saying to John Elite, Pete Dunne if he stays because he beat the number one contender. I think they've already been through that matchup. I don't know if they're gonna repeat it. It was a great match. I saw it live at TakeOver New York, but it just wouldn't make sense because they're both heels. We got Real Take Sports saying talking about bad booking reminds me of the famous Vince quote, "You don't like what you like what I tell you to like." Infamous quote there.
Yeah, that's been him forever.
One thing I did think, maybe if Joe wins the title, we get Walter and Samoa Joe in like a unification thing.
Oh, baby.
Maybe.
I think that would be the only route that's appeasing. That's appeasing to me. And Walter's already here. He's in the US. Why not stay for a couple of more weeks? We've seen NXT UK. They're okay with, having a bunch of weeks without Walter on TV. They have the Heritage Cup Championship. They got the tag titles. They got the NXT UK Women's Championship. They can fill a couple of weeks without Walter. So that does make a lot of sense. We got Elliot Fletcher with a prediction saying the only guy that possibly could challenge Walter after is Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin did infamously beat Walter for the OTT championship in a great match over there in Scotland. So there is options here. There are options.
In the YouTube chat, you guys voted 100% unanimous for Cameron Grimes. And as far as this match goes, 64% in favor of Ilya and 36% in favor of Walter. Keep voting.
Real Take Sports taking back his prediction, saying, I like the unification thing with Joe better. Forget what I said. So people are in agreement with what Louis is predicting here. And we got Nick Jackson saying, I agree with what y'all are saying. Now that I hear it, seems pretty unfeasible with the factors you guys brought up. So
next up,
if we were in a normal world, these will probably be more likely circumstances.
Yeah. But it's totally different now.
Next up, we've got the 2 out of 3 falls between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. The undisputed NXT finale for Adam. Is it the WWE finale for Adam Cole? We will see. Kyle O'Reilly chose a standard match for the first fall, and Adam Cole selected a street fight for the second. The third fall, determined by William Regal, will be in a steel cage if necessary. Spoiler alert, it'll be necessary.
Like, really?
It will be necessary. They always do this with these 3 stages of hell. It always goes to the 3rd stage. They should just say it's gonna happen. Come on, you don't have to.
If he's on his way out, why not just have Kyle O'Reilly win both? No one expects it. That
would be unlikely, a little twist there and really put over Kyle O'Reilly. But I'm not
honestly, if he is on his way out, that's what I'd do, 1,000,000%.
But what if he's not on his way out?
If he's not, then of course don't have it go 2-1.
That's what it becomes a coin flip. So the coin flip happens.
I guess it's also do WWE know yet if he's on his way out? That's the thing. I think I've been talking about this for weeks, but I'm now my current set is he's going. So maybe that's why I'm of that mindset. But I don't think he's told WWE yet where his head's at. I personally, anyway. I may be wrong, but I don't think he will have.
So you think he's leaving WWE?
Yeah, but if you asked me if we did the show yesterday, I would have said he's staying. I change so frequently on this. It's more it's after the day after I watch a show, like Raw. I'm there's no way he can stay. You just can't watch that show and be like, I'm staying. But yeah, for me, I think he is going, and I think that the fact he signed on to finish his feud with Kyle kind of just makes sense for Kyle to go over, to be honest. If he doesn't, regardless, it'll be his final match in NXT, I think. Whether it's his final match in WWE or not, he's done in NXT, I think. So I definitely put Kyle over. I know that's what I think is going to happen.
So you're going with Kyle O'Reilly in this one, the undisputed finale. Of course, everyone watching right now, we got a few people watching. Thank you for joining us. Drop a like on this video. If you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter, you could drop a like, a heart emoji, a laugh emoji, an angry emoji. However, the TakeOver card or SummerSlam card makes you feel. Let us know with that engagement. I'm gonna agree with Louis here, and I'm gonna go with Kyle O'Reilly to get the victory. I think it's gonna be 2 falls to 1, and hopefully, my biggest wish for this matchup. I know it's going to be good to great, but I just hope it's not 45 minutes again, because people love to tell me that they think the Stand and Deliver match was better than the Great American Bash. I felt the Great American Bash was far superior because they did 21 minutes, and it was the perfect length. That 45 minutes was just way too long, and I thought it got weaker as the time went on, and it just got more outrageous with like the bump into the stage that nobody really talks about or remembers. So it's just stuff like that. It just felt very excessive. So I just hope they do maybe 25-30 minutes. I know it's the finale, so that length. Don't go 45 minutes again. Top guy JJ.
Man, I mean, it kind of feels like a very predictable card. It kind of, obviously, I feel like Kyle O'Reilly is definitely pulling this out. They're probably going to win the other guy is going to win each other's stipulation before him pulling it off in the cage. Now, the only thing with Cole and re-signing is I know he was very, very bothered and distraught when one of his best friends, Tyler Breeze, got released. And the fact that they didn't handle his contract his contract even, they didn't even know. So it's a matter of, I don't know if he puts those into factors, if he really thinks that those are matters of respect, because he is a valued guy. He needs to feel he's one of the best in the world. So he needs to feel that way. So all the things, the matter if he wants the money, he's gonna obviously stay with the E, and if he wants to have respect and the proper promotions and the long-term booking, he's gonna go elsewhere. So obviously, this definitely his last match at NXT. Now it's just we gotta wait and see what he decides after NXT, because clearly he's done with NXT after this Sunday. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm the type that like Louis says, when he watches like an episode like Raw last night, he feels like, how can Adam Cole stay. When I watch stuff like AEW Rampage with how they treated his fiance, that's when I'm like, how do you re-sign with Vince when you can come to this and they'll treat you like a star? Like, people complain, oh, you might be on AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation. I don't think anyone who's a star, who's getting wins and about to do something great on Dynamite, is upset with being on Dark or Dark Elevation for a couple of weeks. And now that they have Rampage, I think they're going to even that out just a bit. So I think it would be a big thing for Adam Cole in AEW, but I'm just not convinced, because they're going to throw a whole bag at him to go to the main roster. Yeah, exactly. So
exactly.
I think it's more, I'm 60-40. I'm 60 that he's going to stay in WWE, 40 that he goes to AEW, and that might change before Sunday. Romeo, who you got?
I'm going with Kyle O'Reilly here, as is everyone else in the chat. It looks like 92% for Kyle, 8% believe Adam Cole with the upset, which I think it is an upset.
At this stage, yeah.
What was I gonna say? Do you think the fans or the broadcast they give like Adam Cole like a standing ovation when this is over, or do you think they just move on quickly, don't even acknowledge it?
He's not really a baby face. If this was like a baby face leaving the brand,
he is to that crowd.
Yeah, of course. Me and Louis have gotten to this debate that I said that Adam Cole has been a baby face to the NXT fans for quite some time. But yeah, I mean, maybe off camera, like they do like a longer video package for Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe, because I think this will be probably the match just before the main event, or it's going to be in the middle of the show before the women's championship in the semi-main event. So I could see them doing like a long video package for Raquel and Dakota because of their history. And while that's going on, they give a farewell to Adam Cole and he walks out, to the fans' ovation. So I could see something like that off camera more than on camera.
Yeah, I agree.
Next up, do you have any comments to read?
We got Real Take Sports saying the cynic in me thinks O'Reilly goes over, and then someone attack O'Reilly's after the match to take the spotlight off him. No one gets over, no time to enjoy the win. Typical WWE booking. I could see something like he gets attacked and Adam Cole makes the save. And that's how you complete the story 180 is they reunite their friends again, and then Adam Cole can go either to the main roster or off WWE completely. I think that would be kind of a full circle type of story for me.
Sure. I'd like that.
I learned that from watching the Heels on Stars. Watch it. It's a good show. I watched it today.
No spoilers. Okay.
No spoilers, but it
looks good. It looks pretty good.
The booking there kind of plays into an idea they said on that show.
Next up, we got for the NXT Women's Championship, Raquel Gonzalez versus Dakota Kai. Dakota always says Raquel would be champion as long as she had her back. Well, no more. Doesn't have her back no more. I would love for Dakota to get the win here. Switch it up a little bit. Who knows Raquel better than Dakota Kai? But I think they keep going strong with Raquel Gonzalez, so I'm going Raquel here.
It's WrestleMania 11 all over again. Big Daddy Cool Diesel gets the win over the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. Big Mama Cool Raquel Gonzalez gets the win over the Heartbreak Gal Dakota Kai. Who you got, Louis?
I'm so torn because like Raquel, I could see going up and like this being her swan song, and then she's straight up to the main roster. But I could also see her. But then who beats her? Like it's kind of like not a Walter situation, but like kind of like I think that Raquel. I think Raquel retains. Because I kind of, based on what I think in the other matches, I think titles are going to change hands. So I think that we'll have this one retain and then kind of continue that post. I think maybe that Dakota's being used because they know she'll give Raquel a great match and be just another great sort of notch in Raquel's reign.
Yeah, it's something they can definitely continue on afterwards as well. Top guy JJ, who you got?
Yeah, this is kind of tough, man. Like this is kind of the hard part when you have such a dominant woman run through the entire roster in a matter of 6 months, because it's like there's almost no one left. Like there's not viable options that you could say, okay, this person is the one that's going to dethrone her, because we really don't know. So I'm gonna kind of go opposite. I'm gonna kind of go with the upset here. I'm gonna go with Dakota Kai defeating Raquel in very controversial fashion to win the NXT championship. And pains me to say, I kind of think this kind of catapults Raquel to the roster, to the main roster.
He doesn't want to say it.
To the main He's like nervous about that, right?
Like I don't want it, but I mean, it's she's done it all in a matter of 6 months. So like, what else is left for her at this point in such a short period of time?
Yeah, like Louis said, there's not that person who's like ready-made to take her spot if it's not Dakota. Dakota has kind of gotten a lot of opportunities at the NXT Women's Championship in the past, whether the champion's been Shayna Baszler or Io Shirai. Now she's versing Raquel Gonzalez, and the story kind of fits that, you know, like Romeo said in the intro, that Dakota said that without her, she wouldn't keep the championship, so she should be the one to kind of take the title from her. So it would make sense story-wise. I just don't see it with the way they've booked Dakota Kai for whether she's babyface or heel forever. Yes,
forever.
They don't book her very well, so I can't see her being the unstoppable champion in Raquel Gonzalez. So that's why I go with Raquel in this one. We got a super chat, guys, from the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson. Thank you, good brother. He says, whether he stays in WWE or goes, I just want to recognize how amazing of a run Adam Cole had in NXT. Absolutely. He's proven time and again that he has what it takes to be a top guy. Wish him the best either way. Where would you place Adam Cole in the GOATs of NXT? And do you think like he's 1, 2, top 3, top 2? Where would you place him, Louis?
He's Yeah, I mean, he's up there for sure. It's between him and Gargano for me. Like, Gargano's run wasn't like his run with the title was like nothing, but his time, like his ascent, his feud with Ciampa, like it was amazing. So I'd put him 1 or 2 for sure, maybe even 1 to be honest. Like he did such great stuff, but he's amazing. Like he is so good. 32 as well, so could be on sort of like another 10, 12 years. Just and by all accounts, such a nice guy. So yeah, I mean, for sure, it's going to be a sad day when he leaves NXT, and NXT will feel his loss for years. I think it would take a lot to replace a guy like Adam Cole. So yeah, but for me, yeah, 100%, he is one of the best that NXT's ever had.
Yeah,
100%. Top guy JJ, same.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to argue, I think the 3 GOATs you're talking about for NXT is Gargano, Cole, and Finn Balor. I mean, you got. I mean, it's basically pick your flavor between the 3. I don't think you have a wrong answer with either guy. I mean, I would personally put Adam Cole at number 2. Because I think Gargano is like head and shoulders, like he's Mr. NXT, like he is NXT. Like just don't even try to move him anywhere else. He is that guy. Like he's done almost 20 takeovers almost already. Yeah. Like he's that guy. He's the NXT GOAT, like head and shoulders. I mean, but I would put Cole a close second.
I gotta agree with what you said. Like the top 3 is definitely Gargano, Cole, and Balor for me. What about you, Romeo?
Yeah, he's on the NXT Mount Rushmore, which I would say is those 3 and probably Asuka.
I would say I like
that insertion. I like that insertion.
I would say the fourth one should be the 4 horsemen, like in separate heads, like an octopus. But yeah, I would accept Asuka as well. But we got JJ here saying Raquel is winning. Dakota lost on main event. That's a great point.
To Aaliyah. We should mention that to Aaliyah.
But is it a great point? Like, does it matter? Because
WWE booking that shit doesn't lead to nothing, yo. The only thing that shit ever applies to is the main roster. When you see main roster shit happen, you know that shit is applying on Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah, like they're booked by completely different people. You can bet. I bet anything that Triple H wouldn't have decided to have Dakota lose if he was the one.
To Aaliyah at all? To Aaliyah? Like, really?
Hey, even look at one of the greatest of all time on the main roster, Charlotte Flair. She lost her debut when she was NXT Women's Champion to Natalya in 3 minutes. So I wouldn't put too much stake into Dakota losing on main event. We got Mixed Partial Fart saying, morning boys, I got Dakota ending Gonzalez's reign. It might not be the first match, but Dakota will definitely take the belt off her and finally become women's champion. It would be a culmination of her whole entire time in NXT. And honestly, I think in front of like a CWC or even like if TakeOver goes back to like main arenas, it would get a big pop from the fans. Although they've been pushing Raquel as the baby face here, I think that Dakota has more of a connection with the fans, in my opinion.
Dakota would be the epiphany of when she gets the "You Deserve It" chance. Like that shit would be fitting for her.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
In the YouTube poll, you guys are split 50-50 on Raquel Dakota.
I like it.
I mean, pick a winner and you be 100% sure you're a liar.
Yeah, I think you guys mentioned the card's quite unpredictable. Like this is the one where it's they're quite predictable.
Yeah, this is the coin flip. Yeah, this is the coin flip.
Yeah, but if I was a betting man, this is one that I would not put any money on in the slightest.
No Louis Dangoor good money?
But no good money from me on this one. No, none at all.
But to give it credit too, the Dragunov and Volta is kind of a coin flip match as well. Like that one you cannot predict who's gonna win, like and be 100% certain.
Yeah.
Main event time for the NXT Championship. He's back. Samoa Joe returns as an active competitor on a brand that is heading towards younger talent.
But bigger talent. Bigger.
Also.
He fits one of the boxes.
Also.
Yeah, no more midgets.
No.
Yeah. I mean, he's not like a Finn Balor who's like an old guy.
Right.
At least he's like an old big guy.
funny they have Scarlett on this graphic. I feel like I haven't seen her in a month anywhere.
It's been a while.
This is watered down by what happened with Cross on Raw with his rival Jeff Hardy, the undefeated streak ending.
And his loss also to Keith Lee.
Yes, he went 50-50 with Keith Lee. The 50-50 booking of the main roster has very much watered down what should have been like two of NXT's like biggest monster heels going up against each other. Samoa Joe was that in 2015 when he turned on Finn Balor, and he was the man that, you know, ended Finn Balor's record-breaking reign as NXT champion. Karrion Kross has gone on an undefeated streak for the last 18 months, defeated Keith Lee for the NXT championship, lost the title due to injury, came back, defeats Finn Balor at Stand and Deliver. He beat the Mount Rushmore of NXT, Pete Dunne, Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly at In Your House, and now, they haven't even felt the need to put him out in front of fans without the fans, you know, audio being lowered. Last week was the only time, and they were like kind of scared to even have it with the audio ramped up with him in front of the fans. So yeah, it's not looking good. So I'm gonna go with Samoa Joe. I think that it's time to get the title off of Karrion Kross, let him go to the main roster, do whatever story they have planned for him. If it's a losing streak before Scarlett gets called up with them, then just let it be, because this has really hurt the TakeOver main event, in my opinion.
Can I ask you how do you think Samoa Joe is going to win?
I think that they're going to try to go through like a series of trying to do the rear naked choke, the cross jacket, and then finally it's Joe who gets the rear naked choke, the Kikita clutch for the win.
Chokes him out.
And he goes to sleep. He doesn't tap.
He doesn't tap. He goes to sleep. It protects him. He can go off into the sun or main event or Raw to lose to somebody else, or complete his series, his 1-1 series with Keith Lee, since he beat Jeff Hardy in seconds on Monday Night Raw this week. Whatever they got to do. Yeah, just let Karrion Kross go to the main roster and deal with that booking for now, and let Samoa Joe win the title. And you could do Joe versus Pete Dunne. You could do Joe versus, you know, somebody else. It's a lot of great matches for Samoa Joe as champion. So I think it's the time. Who you got in this one, Louis?
I've also got Samoa Joe. I think this one is like Karrion Kross's swan song, 100%. Heading up to the main roster, and it's like Joe dream matches now. Kind of like you, I think the finish comes like maybe like Joe, like Kross passes out to kind of like save him some face. Not that it matters anymore. I mean, like, but yeah, it should be a good match. I'm quite looking forward to it. I think if anyone can bring Kross to a good match, it will be Samoa Joe. So I'm looking forward to it for sure. I think it will be a lot of fun.
Who you got in this one, top guy?
I mean, this is pretty obvious. This is again, card becomes predictable. Samoa Joe definitely. I mean, I kind of think I gave it away when I was talking to you about the finish. I mean, Samoa Joe definitely, I believe, becomes a new NXT champion. You know, the land of no more midgets comes into full swing. You know, even though Carrion ain't no midget, I don't. You know, kind of doesn't apply here. But yeah, the whole Raw thing is completely diluted the whole aura of Karrion Kross. His entrance is trash. His matches have been trashed on Raw. Like, the whole picture of Karrion Kross on Monday Night Raw has been utter doo-doo so far. And he's that Scarlet, that Scarlet factor is something serious. His Tron is even trash. Like that basic ass cloud with Karrion Kross in the back doesn't even look good on the most pretty thing the WWE has right now. Yeah, Karrion Kross is suffering right now, and it's not fun to see, because you clearly see that he has a lot of product that you can basically promote, and he has the look of everything. He has everything you want, but they're not handling him well at all.
No, it's not looking good at all for Mr. Karrion Kross on Monday Night Raw. Who you got in this one, Romeo? Unanimous?
Unanimous. I agree with your finish as well. And I wonder if maybe afterwards Pete Dunne comes down to have a little stare down with Samoa Joe once again.
That is an option, or Jeff Hardy. You never know. You never know.
Jeff Hardy comes to put Karrion away.
than the uncrowned NXT champion there. So yes, we're all going with Samoa Joe. Continue voting in the poll. I'm going to run through
100% unanimous Samoa Joe.
Already. They're not even playing games today. I love it. Real Take Sports saying Raquel and Dakota has the chance to steal the show, in his opinion. We got Nick Jackson saying Raquel to retain. The feud could go longer, but who knows with how booking has been lately. Real Take Sports says Raquel gets to the main roster and they change her name to Raw. John Elite says, if you're Adam Cole, why resign with the company that just fired one of your best friends in Bobby Fish? Good point there. Real Take Sports says NXT Sami Zayn needs some respect too. I would put Sami Zayn, in my Mount Rushmore, but I just feel like Johnny Gargano kind of did what Sami Zayn did and did it a little bit better. And he's Mr. Takeover. Like, this guy has been in arguably 3 of the top 5 greatest matches in TakeOver history. Him versus Andrade at Philly, him versus Ciampa in New Orleans, and then him versus Cole in New York. And arguably him versus Cole at 25 was also one of the best matches ever. We got EBB saying this may be a hot take. We got the hot take king here. He can judge, but I still think Sami Zayn's chase to the title was better than Gargano's for me. What do you think, Louis?
No. But I think Gargano's would have been so much better if he beat Ciampa for the title, which was obviously going to happen. Obviously, Ciampa got injured. It just seems like those two can never end their feud properly because the wrestling gods just don't want them to. But yeah, I think that would have made Gargano's ascent to the title and win one of the best things wrestling's ever seen. I genuinely think that. Maybe not ever seen. Maybe in the last 20 years. But yeah, I just think it was so good. So yeah, I don't know about Zayn's chase to the title. I think no, I think Gargano's was better.
I think Sami Zayn's chase to the title still told a great story, but it probably would have been a little bit more effective if he beat a heel to get there, because Neville had to kind of play the subtle heel against Zayn, but I think it would have been better if Kevin Owens was there earlier and Kevin Owens was the champion he beat for the title. I think it would have the same effect, like Louis saying, if Gargano was able to beat Ciampa. We got
or maybe if Zayn was in Balor's spot and beat Owens for the title the year after, kind of delayed that, then maybe. But yeah, I think that what made Gargano's ascent so good was he had Ciampa to go opposite him, whereas Zayn, who was, as you say, that heel that he had to overcome? No one really.
Yeah, and although he didn't get to beat Ciampa, I did an article for Sportskeeda, and I said the greatest TakeOver match of all time was Cole versus Gargano in New York. I just think that was just an amazing match, and they delivered on a match that didn't even have that long of a build, but just the atmosphere. I was there live for it. Just amazing stuff. Nick Jackson says, my Mount Rushmore of NXT, Cole, Balor, Ciampa, and Gargano. Top Guy JJ, do you think Ciampa doesn't get enough credit for his place in NXT history?
He doesn't, because of his latest run. This last run has been so lackluster. You completely forgot about literally the greatest entertainer in all of WWE. You forgot about the Psycho Killer. You forgot about that crazy motherfucking psycho that annihilated Johnny Gargano any chance that he got. He was something vicious, boy. He was vicious. He looked damn near unbeatable when he was at his peak.
True story. We got about 50 people watching across the platforms that we're on right now. Drop a video on this video. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, give us a thumbs up, give us a heart emoji, whatever type of emotion this TakeOver card gives you on Facebook, and drop us a like on Twitter if you're watching over there. We greatly appreciate it, and it helps more people see the content that we're going through here. And we got to go through now the SummerSlam card. We're going to go through this a little bit faster than we did the TakeOver card, because a lot of these matches I honestly don't really know the
story. Don't even want to talk about. Don't even want to. Yeah.
And speaking of which, we got to start off with Alexa Bliss with Lily going one-on-one with Eva Marie with Doudrop. This one has been building for the last couple of weeks over on Monday Night Raw. We've seen Alexa Bliss target Eva Marie and Doudrop. We had the matchup last week with Eva Marie and Doudrop where Lily winked at Doudrop. Yes, I said that correct. A doll winked at Doudrop. Doudrop got scared of Lily last night on Monday Night Raw when she was told to go kidnap her, and that led to Eva Marie slapping her across the face twice. Who do you think wins this matchup, and what have you thought of the feud here, Louis?
Don't care. Literally. Like, I don't care. Alexa Bliss wins. Yeah, probably. The feud sucked.
Top guy JJ.
Please, why'd you ask me about this bullshit? Like, why? I knew you wanted me to just stop doing what I was doing just so you could get my fucking reaction on this bullshit. I'm done. Alexa wins. No, I'm not talking about this bullshit. No.
I'm also going for Alexa. Romeo.
The fuck?
In a perfect world, this would have been Alexa Bliss versus Bray Wyatt in a Firefly Funhouse match, but we don't exist. We don't live in that perfect world. Alexa Bliss.
Alexa,
Eva Marie and SummerSlam. Unbelievable.
Hey, yeah, she's up there. She's a star. She's a star. We got another takeover comment here from EBB. Not necessarily the best NXT matches, but my favorites from the Baron are Nakamura versus Zayn, awesome match. Black versus Gargano, very underrated. And Zayn versus Neville. He says, Black and Gargano, especially, I absolve you of all your sins, perfection. That was from TakeOver War Games 2018. That is a very underrated match that not a lot of people bring up. So was Zayn and Neville, probably the most forgotten TakeOver classic because it was all the way back in 2014. One
that never gets enough love for me is Ricochet and Aleister Black versus the Viking Raiders in New York. Like, that's one of my favorite NXT matches ever. Like, one of my favorite matches ever. I just love that match, honestly, so much. So for me, that never gets enough love.
I would say that and the six-way ladder match for the North American title are the greatest takeover
badass
of all time. Those two.
Yeah.
Those two.
I'm fully on board with that Nakamura and Zayn match. Like, that match, that was one of the initiators to the Fight Forever chance. Like, that shit was beautiful. That's a chef's kiss match right there.
Give us your most underrated TakeOver classic in the live chat here, if you will, because we have a couple of more matches that probably won't get our interest too much. We got Nick Jackson saying, holy shit, I forgot Eva Marie was in WWE.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean.
And he also says, Rico Black, we coined that here, was a great team for the short run they had. They were, even on the
NXT.
I feel like in the main roster, I felt like they should have won at WrestleMania 35. Honestly, I always said that. I will stick to that argument. They should have won the SmackDown Tag Team titles there.
I mean, if you're going to put them in a team, at least do it right. So yeah,
I'm just saying. Come on, man. So let's move on to the next match from.
By the way, 89% in the chat for Alexa Bliss.
What the hell is wrong with the 11 pip? But what is that 11%? Like what?
What did you gave yours, Romeo?
Yes, Alexa.
All right. So next up, we have another match from Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre, the former WWE champion, versus another former WWE champion, his former 3MB brethren, Jinder Mahal. Because Drew got the victory over Veer and Shanky on Monday Night Raw, they are banned from ringside. This is all due starting back before Money in the Bank, but then at Money in the Bank, it was Jinder, Veer, and Shanky who cost Drew McIntyre the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. He's been feuding with them ever since then. They've been running away from Angela, his trusty sword, so he gets to bring his sword to the ring, while Jinder doesn't get to bring his two bodyguards. I think it's pretty obvious who's going to win here. Drew McIntyre wins, and we call it a night. Who do you got in this one, Top Guy JJ?
Well, this is the worst thing that Jinder Mahal has ever been involved in, like ever. This shit is like god awful. Drew McIntyre is obviously winning this match, but this has just been wow. Monday Night Raw. Wow, Monday Night Raw. This is the shit that you're bringing to the SummerSlam table.
Yeah,
I apologize.
The greatness. See the greatness of that song there. And there we go. Romeo's got his own Angela. Who you have in this one, Romeo? Drew or Jinder?
This is actually Maritza. This is named after my mother.
Oh, okay. Lovely.
Sorry.
Very lovely.
Drew McIntyre, a storyline that started with Jinder costing Money in the Bank for Drew turned into ownership of a sword. Let's move on, folks. Let's move on.
Yes, thank you.
Who you got, Louis?
Drew. Also, don't care. And that pains me as a Drew guy. But I just have no interest. Don't even want to see. The thing is with Drew, his booking has been a bit mad this year, but I've always been interested in what he's going to do in the ring. I just can't see a world where he pulls Jinder Mahal to a good match.
I've said this to Alex, Louis, and I'll say it to you. Your picking of Drew as Wrestler of the Year in 2020 aged very well. It aged very well.
No. Listen, I still stick by it. He was a great wrestler in 2020. Just 2021 has sucked ass. So no.
That is fair.
You still talking about this bullshit?
Should I even go to the voting for this one? I think it's pretty obvious, Romeo.
It's not that obvious. 88% for Drew, 12% for Jinder. Don't hinder the Jinder.
See, we got real take saying unhindered Jinder. He's predicting Jinder, and Dion with a great suggestion. It should be a sword on a pole match. That's fair.
Can we move on?
And then we got a takeover underrated classic EBB saying Asuka versus Ember 2 at Brooklyn is the most underrated classic for me, bar none. Doesn't get brought up much. The final takeover match for Asuka when Ember hit his clips, I thought the streak was done. I was sitting next to Top Guy JJ at that takeover, and he was rooting for Ember, and I was rooting for Asuka, and I was so happy when Asuka won.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Great stuff.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Go ahead. We got real take saying NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way between Neville, Zayn, Breeze, and Tyson Kidd was a very underrated match. I agree with that there. One I don't really see brought up a lot, Riddle versus
I love this match.
Yeah?
I love this match. This match was just like Cardio City. Just both guys just slapping the shit out of each other. I love this match. Really good suggestion.
I love it too. And then EBB showing some love to me. Thank you, EBB. SB3 is the best host on wrestling YouTube. You do a great job, mate. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. I appreciate it. And
I mean, after I kind of stepped down, I agree. I gave you a run for your money while I was still going, but because I kind of stepped down and gave you the shine, you can have it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you giving me the shine. I was able to fill those shoes. You know, you were Zayn and I was Gargano. Next up, we got to talk about the United States Championship matchup. Sheamus will defend against Damian Priest. Damian Priest got the victory over Sheamus in the Champions Contenders match a couple of weeks back, and this led up to the making of this matchup here. Damian Priest has been getting in Sheamus' head by using the bro kick over the last couple of weeks, and I think all of us are just happy that Damian Priest is not in a match against Miz and Morrison. So, who do you got?
This only took like 5 months.
I'm gonna go with my man Damian Priest. He's gonna take that momentum that Bad Bunny gave him at WrestleMania and take it straight to the moon and defeat Sheamus for the U.S. Championship here. Who do you got, Romeo?
Yeah, Sheamus has been bullying around these mid-card baby faces. It's time for him to get his comeuppance. It's time for Damian Priest to ascend. There's a laundry list of heels, mid-card heels that Priest can face as the new United States champion. Priest. No, I'm not picking him just because I'm Puerto Rican, but I was going to say that.
All
right, here we go. I almost forgot. Let's go, baby.
Gotta represent. Louis, who you got?
I kind of care about this match, so good. It's a positive. We're moving forward. I actually think it's going to be one of the best matches of the night for sure. I think that both men, like Sheamus, we forget because like kind of once he got injured, stuff kind of went downhill. But he was on a real roll with doing some great stuff, sort of definitely on TV. I think that's going to continue with Damian Priest, and I do think Priest wins to kind of cement himself, probably to feud with Miz again over the US title. But I see him walking out of SummerSlam as the champion.
Yeah, this is a nice match of styles, these two.
I could totally see him going back and versing Miz for the U.S. Championship. Top guy JJ, who you got?
Yeah, I think it's about time for Damian Priest to get his most meaningful win since WrestleMania. I think he hasn't had anything meaningful since then. It's been a long time coming. I mean, Priest ain't getting any younger, so you got to pull a plug on him at some point. You got to pull the trigger. I mean, at some point to get him going, because right now this ain't working. You got to give him something. Give him a spark.
Yes, and this would be that spark that he definitely needs. Let us know in the live chat who you think is going to win all the matches for SummerSlam and this one, including Sheamus versus Damian Priest. What does the poll say, Romeo?
92% Damian Priest, 8% Sheamus.
Love to see it. Next, we have to go to another matchup on the Raw side for the Raw Tag Team Championships. This one I am looking forward to here for sure, as RKBro will team to verse AJ Styles and Omos. RKBro has been kind of the highlight of Monday Night Raw for months, ever since after WrestleMania and the formation of their team. Randy Orton was off for several weeks, 7 weeks to be exact, and he has come back. He gave Riddle an RKO last week on Monday Night Raw, but this week, after Randy Orton gave him the RKO last week, walked out on him, Riddle still came and made the save for him when he was getting attacked by AJ and Omos. And now Randy says Riddle has earned his respect, and they are a team against the Raw Tag Team Champions. Who you got in this one, Louis?
It is a match I'm really looking forward to. I could see it going either way, where like Orton turns again, like kind of to do that, or they win, and I think they should win, to be honest, kind of give them, reignite that feud New Day down the line. So, yeah, I think Randy Orton and Riddle win, and I think this could actually be a really, really good match. I'm looking forward to it. And if you want to probably put Omos in any match, putting him in with those three workers is probably a very smart call, and I think that they'll sell well for him and make him look good. So I'm going to go for Riddle and Orton.
Who you got, top guy, JJ?
Oh, I mean, RK, put some respect on RK-Bro. I mean, you gotta put the titles on honestly the best thing going on Monday Night Raw. Like that's the best thing happening on that sad show, on that sorry ass show. That's the best. I mean, and it's actually good though. These two together are actually really, really cool together. Please. Can we be done with AJ Styles and tag matches? Like, can we finally get over this hurdle? Can we please?
I want to see AJ back in singles, and I think that this match we're gonna finally see almost take a bump. That's my great prediction.
Calm down, man. You're asking for a lot here.
He's gonna take an RKO.
Have you seen him try to sell?
He's gonna take an RKO. I'm telling you.
Yo, it looks pretty brutal seeing him trying to sell.
I think he's gonna take an RKO here.
I tell you what. There is absolutely no chance this guy takes an RKO. Absolutely.
I think he takes a double RKO from the both of them.
Maybe. That maybe. Can Orton get that high?
We saw it. We saw it last night on Monday Night Raw. He tried. He got up there. He got the jump.
Yeah, Omos is just going to have to learn how to drop. This is probably going to be the ugliest RKO you're ever going to see, because he is probably going to land on his knees. He's literally, this is going to be an ugly scene here.
Hey,
he's going to take the Kane bump. He's going to take the Kane bump 100%, where like he goes straight onto his knees.
Kane used to take the RKO on his hip first.
He used to get in a straight fetal position, yo.
But to be fair, there's a reason why of all these old guys, Kane's probably in the best shape, like least beat up, because that guy just always on his knees, always on his hip. He never took a proper bump. Fair play to him though, because he can still walk.
I mean, he lasted about 20 years, so he did something right.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with Louis and JJ. I'm going with RKBro. Romeo, same.
Yeah, the unexplained weeks off of Randy Orton really rushed his storyline in 2 weeks.
It did.
A case could be made just for Riddle to RKO the shit out of Randy right here and just fuck off, Randy. And new tag team champions. And I think AJ Styles has been pushing the fact that, Orton can't stand Riddle. It's not going to last. I think after this match, you're going to see the opposite. AJ's going to blame Omos for this loss, and they're going to be the ones that break up.
I like it. I like that. That's actually a good prediction there. We got a question here from Revhead saying, why does everyone hate Raw so much? It's a great and entertaining show.
This is troll. He's trolling. He's straight
Trolling.
trolling.
Trolling, bro.
He's straight trolling.
No one can have this mindset. Like if this was about SmackDown, like I'd be like, okay, I can see why.
This is straight trolling. Like this is straight trolling.
There is no one of sane mind that actually thinks this.
Stay trolling.
Hey, stay trolling. I appreciate it. Nick Jackson saying RK-Bro for the win. Anything to get AJ Styles out of the tag division. And Nick Jackson making a good point. Orton's got bunnies. He's got the bunnies. He can jump up there. He can get almost down. And Riddle is the one that probably needs the help. Who needs the help if it's going to be a double RK.
As soon as I said, what I say is that can Orton get that high?
With Riddle, he can.
And I was like, can Riddle get that high? And I was like, you probably.
Very good.
Remember Orton and Edge, the way they used to do the RKO together? They didn't even jump.
No, they used to grab the head and then just
drop. Just drop.
It's Omos, guys.
Yeah, they ain't doing that.
This guy won't cooperate with them.
Yeah, this is gonna be an ugly bump if he takes this shit. This is gonna be, just know it here. You heard it here first. That will be one of the worst bumps of the entire year when you see that happen.
Probably so. We got to go to the other tag team division on SmackDown.
Oh, by the way, Sid, 100% RK-Bro.
Yeah, I'll call it here. That bump will be worse than Donald Trump's bump when he took the stunner.
Wow.
No way. Come on.
This guy is trained.
What about Linda McMahon?
He's trained. You're right. I have no confidence in this. I have no confidence at all. Every time he looks like he tries to sell, it looks like it's an earthquake in the ring because he is shaded. He's shaking and shattering so much, and he's trying to make them look powerful. Like, oh my god! Like, no, you took a clothesline. Why you shaking?
I will say, I think they've done a very good job of protecting him so far. Like his spots and the little things they have done have been good, not rushed. Like considering they've been a pair for nearly a year, and like they haven't exposed him that much, I think they've done a pretty good job. So I think if they do it, it will be rehearsed the day before, and if it doesn't look good, then they just won't do it.
We probably won't. We got the SmackDown tag team titles on the line. It's going to be the Usos versus the Mysterios at Money in the Bank on the pre-show, the kickoff show. It was the Usos who defeated the Mysterios for the tag team titles. And now we have the rematch here. Over the last couple of weeks, it's been a story of Dominic Mysterio kind of being a little bit cocky, and his father trying to, rein him in a bit so they can win back the tag team championships. So who do you think is going to win here? Which family takes the victory and takes the SmackDown tag team titles? The Usos or the Mysterios? Stop, guy JJ.
Are you fucking serious? This match is on the pre-show and Alexa Bliss and fucking Eva Marie is on.
I was talking about the Money in the Bank kickoff pre-show.
I was about to catch a heart attack.
I don't know yet.
You never know.
I can't confirm or not confirm.
No, deny. Man, this is a tough one, but it would be nice to see the Mysterios get a W in front of the big live crowd, because they haven't had that yet. They got their first matches in front of it, but they had kind of gave the titles up. So I kind of see this kind of going back and forth for a little while, because the tag division is outside of the Street Profits is kind of stale. So I do see the I see the Mysterios actually pulling this out because they're going to extend this feud a little bit longer.
All right, we got one for the Mysterios. How about you, Romeo?
Keep going with the Usos here. I think we're eventually going to see a Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio match, and the way we get there is with them losing a lot.
I agree with you there. I'm going with the Usos as well. I think it's going to keep going with this whole storyline of Dominic and Rey not getting along, and probably at WrestleMania we get Rey versus Dominic, maybe on the WrestleMania kickoff show. But hey, they'll have their match. They'll have their day in the sun.
For the mask.
For the mask and the legacy. Louis, who you got?
Yeah, I got the Mysterio. No, I don't have the Usos. I do not have the Mysterio. But I think this will be good. I think this will be really good.
This is going to be a good match. This is going to be a good match.
I'm looking forward to it.
So we have Red Revhead with a response here. He says, "I'm not trolling. If you watch it through the eyes of its
first sign of trolling." When you say that.
When you say I'm not trolling, that means you're trolling. If you watch it through the eyes of it's a variety show, it's fun to watch. I'm not looking for NXT style wrestling on Raw. It's just fun.
The wrestling isn't the problem. The wrestling is probably the best thing on Raw.
I agree.
Like, objectively, the wrestling is the best thing.
You know the worst part about Raw? I could tell you what happened 6 weeks ago, and it's still relevant right now. I could tell you what happened 2 months ago, and it's still relevant right now. Why is Goldberg on the show?
He came for the WWE Championship.
I don't mind the Goldberg, I've got to be honest.
To make his son proud.
Hot take.
No, it's not. There are bigger problems right now than Goldberg, I think.
I agree.
I mean, that's going to be their main event.
That's the Raw main event.
That's going to be their main event.
Raw's main event on the SummerSlam.
That's a problem.
I gotta be honest. I don't think it's that big of a problem. I think it's honestly one of the biggest matches that WWE could put on Raw right now. Like, realistically, this was gonna be Brock. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
It was gonna be Brock. They just couldn't get Brock. But who else could there be? Like, no one's built up enough that I'd be like, yeah, that's a summer main event. Like, maybe Kofi Kingston, if they didn't do what they did to him at
if he didn't get squashed.
Yeah, if they didn't do what they did at Money in the Bank. But other than that, like, who else is there? No one really.
I agree. I'm not too against Goldberg getting the shot here because it's not the main event of the card. But we will get to that matchup soon enough. Next, we have to talk about the Raw Women's Championship.
Oh, by the way, sorry, 92% Usos. 92%.
We're all on the money with the Usos, except for top guy JJ there. He's going to differ. We got for the Raw Women's Championship, Romeo's match of the night, the match he's looking forward to the most.
What?
It's going to be Nikki A.S.H. versus Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. It was at Money in the Bank that Charlotte Flair defeated Rhea Ripley to win the Raw Women's Championship, her 11th Women's Championship on the main roster. The following night, they had a rematch where Charlotte got herself disqualified, and then after the match, Rhea Ripley gave her the riptide on the floor. Nikki A.S.H. won Money in the Bank, the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match for the briefcase and cashed in on that opportunity and beat Charlotte for the championship. Since then, Charlotte has defeated Nikki A.S.H. in a championships contenders match. Their rematch was no holds barred. Nikki A.S.H. got the victory there. Last night on Monday Night Raw, Nikki A.S.H. lost to Rhea Ripley, and then both Nikki and Rhea lost to Charlotte and Nia Jax. So here we are, triple threat. I think that this is all leading up, all the losses for Nikki A.S.H. She's going to win here for some reason and continue being a fluke champion that I'm not convinced of in the least bit. Romeo, should I even ask you for your prediction here?
If you were wondering, is it possible to have 50-50 booking in a three-way feud? Yes, it is. Yes, right here, 50-50 booking. The fluke champ, Nikki A.S.H., has taken plenty of L's, but she's not going to take it here. She's going to win by a fluke. Nikki A.S.H. retains.
Louis, who you got in this one? Triple threat.
Charlotte Flair.
Woo!
Woo!
Get those numbers up, baby.
Get those numbers up.
Numbers up. Yeah. She didn't win the title for a day last month to not win it back now. Charlotte Flair to win. But also don't care about this. We're back to the not caring now.
Tough guy JJ.
So we're gonna ask what's wrong with Raw. And when you got that champion losing multiple times in a 3-week span, and then for her to turn around and win on Saturday, that's cool. That's cool because
it's cool because she's not a superhero.
She's almost a champion.
Almost.
Which she's actually a champion. Yeah. She's the actual Raw Women's Champion. She's the actual champion. She's not an almost champion. She's an actual champion. So she loses, but she loses weekly. And then she's going to pull off a fluke win here on Saturday at SummerSlam. This is all coming from Monday Night Raw, by the way.
Yeah, all the matches we're not interested in seem to always be.
McIntyre and Mahal is also on Monday Night Raw, by the way. Just
from Monday Night Raw. We got John Elite, speaking of Monday Night Raw, saying Raw is groundhog every single week. We also got Fifth Generation saying, "What a smile on Sunberg's face."
He doesn't really look happy to be there.
No, he doesn't. It really seems forced.
Like he's getting dragged out.
To be fair, if my dad was like, "Go watch Raw," I'd be like, "No."
To be fair, and take my whole football team with me. Like that's embarrassing. Like we had to sit through this whole thing. Come on. And Jason Michael Campbell saying, "Give me Charlotte for the win." Who won the poll here, Romeo?
It was very close. 8% Rhea Ripley, 41% Nikki A.S.H, 50% Charlotte.
Wow, Charlotte for the win. There we go. And this one I'm very much looking forward to. A dream match of sorts. It's going to be the Rated R Superstar Edge going one-on-one with Seth Rollins. Back at Money in the Bank, it was Seth who cost Edge his WWE Universal Championship matchup against Roman Reigns. Since then, the two men have been going back and forth, sharing barbs, talking about their history together. Seth almost re-breaking Edge's neck in 2014. Edge eliminating Seth Rollins from the 2020 and 2021 Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins cut one of his best promos of the year on SmackDown, talking about how everything Edge has done, Seth has done better. Edge has called Seth a Edge Light, but Seth has proven that he is Edge evolved. He's done everything just that much better. So who do you say wins this one? This one I am interested in. I am going with Edge to get the victory over Seth Rollins. Top guy JJ.
This should be the match of the weekend. It should be, but it's probably not. It should be. This is definitely the match I'm looking most forward to, for sure, because this history between these two and just what I know these two can still do in the ring is going to be nothing short of phenomenal. I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins pulling this one out here, though. I am gonna pull Seth Rollins here. Probably not in the cleanest way, but I do see him edging out Edge, like to so they're gonna need another player in that Universal title picture, and the best way to do that is to have him have a prominent victory over the guy that just was chasing the title in Edge.
That does make sense.
Yeah. I think Seth. I think he's on a collision course for Roman eventually down the line. I think having like a great match with Edge. I'm so happy they played up this like their history. I hope there's a spot where like he's standing on the neck again. I think that could be really cool. Maybe like if Edge, because Edge is, let's not forget, he is on a part-time deal. Not part-time deal, but like a Legends deal. So he isn't going to be on TV every week. So I'd kind of have maybe even like a post-match angle where Edge, like Seth curb stomps him through, I don't know, like onto a chair or something to kind of really give him some heat. So yeah, I'd do that. So for me, Edge to win, Seth to win, sorry, for sure.
So we got 2 for Seth, 1 for Edge. Who do you got, Romeo?
I'm really excited to see what these two minds can produce as far as a wrestling match goes. I agree with what Louis just said, that I think Seth Rollins is going to do something along those lines after he loses to Edge. So I think there's multiple matches here I think Seth Rollins loses the first one. We're going to get another one.
That would make a lot of sense. Yeah, I could see something like that with Seth kind of pulling the Triple H at SummerSlam 2002, where he takes like a loss to Shawn Michaels and then hits him in the back with the sledgehammer. But Edge gets to win like a fluke win, like a roll up or something like that. He doesn't win with the spear, and then Seth attacks him after the match and gives him the curb stop on like a steel chair or whatever, a briefcase, something. I could see that. Next up, we got another.
The chat says 64% Seth Rollins.
Ooh, so Seth is they're going against us. I'm still gonna go with Edge, but that is good to hear that the chat wants the younger star to get the victory in this one. For the SmackDown Women's Championship, it's going to be Sasha Banks getting an opportunity in a rematch from WrestleMania 37 against Bianca Belair. These two ladies main evented night one of WrestleMania, where Bianca Belair got the victory. Since then, Sasha Banks was off of TV until she returned just a couple of weeks back. She seemed to be on Bianca Belair's side since they won the ESPYs together, but then she turned on her and then took her out, which sets up this matchup here. She also gave her the bank statement with the braid during the contract signing last week on SmackDown. So who wins here, Sasha or Bianca? Let's start with Louis.
This is a difficult one because it's over like heart and head. I do genuinely think Sasha Banks should win. Only because what is there left for Bianca to do, really? Unless Sonya Deville's coming back or Charlotte's moving over, there's nothing for her to do anymore on SmackDown. So I'm going to go for Sasha Banks to win, feud with the likes of Toni Storm. And Toni Storm again. Maybe Toni Storm again. Because there's no one else. But yeah, I kind of think we're done now with Bianca's run. She had a good run, 4 months.
Yeah,
I think can be proud of it. Had a great feud with Bayley, kind of dragged on a bit. Yeah, for me, kind of a shame they didn't get to finish that. But I think that Belair should, I think, drop it here.
Who do you got, Top Guy JJ?
Yeah, I'm going to kind of agree with Sasha Banks here because I'm expecting a trilogy out of these two women. I'm expecting them to have a blow-off match, probably somewhere between that, whatever that October pay-per-view is and Survivor Series, to have that number 3 and have it kind of like elongated until Bayley returns or whatever they decide to do with Becky Lynch, whatever they decide to do with her. But I do expect this to go on a little bit longer. I don't expect this to be a blow-off here at SummerSlam. I do expect this to continue beyond SummerSlam.
Who you got, Romeo?
Yeah, I think the thing to do here, heel Sasha, she wins. You set up a trilogy. You also have a heel champion on SmackDown. And if you are bringing back Becky Lynch to be on SmackDown, so she's on the same brand as Seth, you got a babyface Becky Lynch to set up against a heel Sasha Banks if you want to go that route down the line.
I'm gonna have to agree with you guys. Sasha Banks to get the victory in this one. She's been looking amazing since she's made her comeback, and I just think her as an established heel, because she they did the weird build up to WrestleMania. This has been a lot more effective in my opinion as far as the build up, and her as the heel with Bianca chasing. You can build to a third match. Like you said, Becky Lynch is in the waiting, potentially coming back to SmackDown. And then there's so many baby faces that just haven't been getting time on SmackDown lately, whether it's Toni Storm, whether it's Liv Morgan. Naomi was supposed to be coming to SmackDown. So there's a lot of options to verse Sasha Banks even after Bianca Belair. So I think it's the right move to get Sasha here. We got to ask Louis about what do you think about the rumors that this match potentially being canceled due to both ladies being off of this past weekend's house shows, and a lot of speculation talking about possibly they've contracted the virus or something has happened to postpone this match or cancel it altogether.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know why they're not on TV right now to kind of, granted, or not on TV because I haven't missed the TV, but not on live events. And granted, when anyone is off, especially in these times right now, kind of people will jump to that conclusion. I personally don't know anything about it. I've asked people and no one really knows. But they're off TV, and it's important to note the reports were that there's concern the match isn't going to happen, not that the match isn't going to happen. And I think that's an important distinction to make. So yeah, for me, kind of just we'll see. Probably we'll find out by SmackDown on Friday.
We shall. We got a bunch of people watching right now. Remember to drop a like on this video. Remember to push the subscribe button if you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Just a few more matches to run down here. We got the two big ones, though.
By the way, 58% Bianca Belair, 42 Sasha.
Wow. We're out of touch, it seems.
That's a lot of Bianca love. That's what's up.
I like it.
Another coin flip match.
Yes, there's a lot of. That's why I kind of like the SummerSlam card a little bit better than TakeOver. I feel like TakeOver is going to have the match of the weekend, but there's just
this card has Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss.
Hey, there has to be variety.
Yo, bro, I would be on your side if you just said the SmackDown side is carrying SummerSlam right now.
Obviously, I'm talking about the SmackDown side. I'm saying the SmackDown side has a lot of unpredictable matches that can go either way. I'm gonna ignore the Monday Night Raw matches. Hopefully, they have
a lot of matches.
They have it back to back, so I can just ignore it. I can just ignore it and watch something else. Like I'll watch Power or no, that doesn't come on Saturday. Damn it. But let's go to the top two matches. WWE Championship match is on the line, as it's going to be Bobby Lashley defending against Goldberg. Goldberg came back a couple of weeks ago to make the challenge to Bobby Lashley. Since then, this has been about Goldberg trying to win the championship for his son, his 15-year-old son, to see him be the champion once again. He can't just go on YouTube, go on the WWE Network to see him a champion in 1998. He wants them to see him be champion at 55 years old in 2021, while Bobby Lashley wants to confirm his dominance over Monday Night Raw. I'm going to say Bobby Lashley gets the victory in this one. Who do you got, Romeo?
Yeah, I think they set up Lashley winning, as Goldberg just speared Lashley on Raw, as we await Brock Lesnar's return, hopefully. But you know what? I hope his son, Goldberg's son, Gage, I hope he's just like, Dad, you're like an old fossil. You're a relic. You're a thing of the past. I'm in the hurt business now. Bang.
Oh,
wow. He had that queued up. I like
that.
You're going to have Gage turn on Goldberg. That would be an interesting turn in this feud that has had no interesting turns at all. Top guy, JJ, who you got?
No, come on, man. Come on, man. Even if Goldberg is I'm not picking Goldberg to win this match. Bobby Lashley all the fucking way. I hope Bobby fucking squashes him, which is probably not going to happen. But I hope that Goldberg. I hope this is Goldberg's last match, with all due respect.
Who you got, Louis?
You guys might not have me back on, but I'm quite looking forward to this match. I think it's going to be like a bit of like a spear fest. I think if it's anything over 5 minutes, I'll lose interest. If it's like a 5-minute sprint, cool. I mean, Bobby's got to win, and I think he does win.
We got a bunch of love for Bobby Lashley in the chat here. To answer this question from John Lee, don't forget Mia Yim. I think he's talking about on the SmackDown roster. Rev Heads also asked that. She's apparently back on the Monday Night Raw roster. She was a part of the trade that brought Naomi over to SmackDown, although both ladies have not been on TV. So it's easy to forget about either one of them. Not that I want to, because I love Mia Yim.
Yeah, he just educated me just now. Thanks, brother.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's what I'm here for, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Jackson says, if Bobby Lashley does not destroy this old fuck, I am swearing off of all WWE content.
Yeah, until next week.
And Connor Smith says, and then Gage tells Goldberg to take his shirt off. Lovely stuff.
92% of you are picking Bobby Lashley with this one.
Smart decision. And now it's the big one, ladies and gentlemen, the main event for sure, in my opinion, of SummerSlam for the WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns going one-on-one with John Cena, the greatest of all time versus the greatest of his time. How they've been billing this back at Money in the Bank after Roman defeated Edge. It was John Cena who came out and confronted him in his return. A awesome pop from the by the fans in Fort Worth, Texas at Money in the Bank. Since then, we thought it was going to be Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam, but it was Baron Corbin who attacked Finn Balor to take that shot away. When it looked like Baron Corbin was going to sign the contract, John Cena came down, attacked Baron Corbin, signed the contract to seal the deal. This past week on SmackDown, the two men went face to face for the first time. John Cena says that Roman has been protected, that he's not as over as he thinks he is, and he's going to take the title away from him. Roman basically laughed him off and says that it's still the same stick. He says that he calls him Mr. Missionary, and he says 20 years of missionary was good enough for John Cena, but was it good enough for Nikki Bella? While John Cena name dropped Dean Ambrose and made references to CM Punk in a very entertaining 26-minute promo between the two men. But it's a dream match. The two biggest names from WWE since pretty much the Attitude Era, Cena, Reigns. Who you got in this one, Louis?
Apart the Ric Flair thing, man, like the Ric Flair thing. But no, I'm gonna go for Roman. I could see them putting it on John Cena just to fuck with Ric Flair. But no, I am gonna go with Roman Reigns. Should be a very good match as well. I'm looking forward to this one.
I am as well. Top guy JJ, who you got?
You know WWE wants to put 17 on one of their guys. You know they want to put it on one of theirs. Like, they're not going to hold that 16 on a WCW guy forever. But not this Saturday, dog. You ain't beating our tribal chief. You're not beating my tribal chief, your tribal chief, the head of the motherfucking table. You are not beating him this Saturday. It is coming, but not now.
Who you got, Romeo?
Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Never give up. A lot of things going good for John Cena here. Ric Flair, as you mentioned, leaving. CM Punk returning is going to grab headlines if he does on Rampage. John Cena sticking around some more after this. Cena wins number 17. Big stadium pop. Fireworks, huge moment. Number 17. I wish Flair was around to make it more special, but hey. And then you set up a rematch at Madison Square Garden, SmackDown at the Garden, where Roman can get it back and Cena can go onwards to his Hollywood career, that big hypocrite.
Seems legit.
And that would cap off the summer of Cena.
That would, and he can be on the Madison Square Garden show that he's already promoted for. We even got John Elite saying Cena winning here would be a cool moment, and I don't see it happening though. We got EBB saying this feud has been so meta that it's taken me out of it. Why not put focus on their histories, their goals, and similar past? Instead, all we got was jokes and one-liners. I do agree with you there. We got Dion Chua saying Tribal Chief, and we got the Rev Head saying, and his name is John Cena. I am going with the head of the table, the Tribal Chief. He is going to show up and win. Roman Reigns gets the victory here. I think that it's going to be a great match. I think it's going to be probably John Cena's best match since the AJ Styles match all the way back in 2017. I just think that these guys are going to bring it when it comes to the ring. I have also not been too enthused with this storyline. I feel like, putting Finn Balor in there, subverted the attention away from the two big stars. I would have liked it to be about their history, about Roman being better than he was back in 2017. I would have liked some highlights from their feud and that promo exchange from 2017. It would have added a lot to this one, but I digress. I just think Roman is going to get the victory here and put the stamp. I don't think Roman should lose until we get to WrestleMania against The Rock. And even there, I think he should beat The Rock, but he needs to keep on his momentum up until then. So I'm going with Roman Reigns. So
and the chat says 87% Roman Reigns, 13% John Cena.
The chat agrees with us and not you, Romeo. Jediah Steele saying the build has been bad. We got John Elite saying, was Cena mentioning Moxley's WWE name as a shot at AEW? I didn't really take it as a shot. I took it more as just a dig. That's what John Cena does. And Connor Smith says Cena wins, aligns with Paul Heyman, jumps the rail, and blows a kiss to Roman and scene.
That would be some real cool WWE shit that will never happen.
I'd love it. It'd be really
that
cool.
would be that would be some on edge booking right there.
Cena.
But this is WWE we're talking about here.
I love it. Connor Smith says, well, Romeo just gave up. All right, that is all for our predictions for SummerSlam as well as TakeOver 36. Thank you, everyone who's joining us in the live chat. We greatly appreciate all your feedback, all your predictions, the votes on the poll. If you're watching us on replay, let us know in the comment section below what you think is going to happen at SummerSlam, at TakeOver 36, and give us your predictions for each and every match. Louis, thank you so much for joining us on this preview. You have been a great guest as usual. The Hot Take King was here with us. And please tell the people where they can follow you on social media and everything you got going on. A whole bunch of great interviews on the GiveMeSport YouTube channel. Let them know where they can find it.
Thank you, man. Yeah, thank you very much for having me on, you guys. Always fun to chat wrestling. Should be a good show. I know, jokingly, been a bit negative. I have anyway. So looking forward to what should be a good weekend. And I mean, Friday night, I'll be on a high, regardless for the entirety of the weekend. But yeah, follow me on Twitter at the Louis Dangoor. That's where all my interviews go. Basically, everything goes really. Subscribe on YouTube at GiveMeSport WWE. I just had an interview up there with Samoa Joe, one last week with Drew McIntyre. So some really cool ones coming up post SummerSlam, covering the fallout and heading into the UK tour and Extreme Rules. Yeah, that's the username right there. So yeah, thank you very much for having me on, guys. Always a pleasure. And enjoy SummerSlam. Enjoy TakeOver as well.
There's going to be a lot to enjoy. We got a quick question here from EBB saying, favorite wrestlers currently, lads? Sad yeehaw, man. Talk about Hangman Page for EBB. Who's your favorite wrestler or wrestlers right now, Louis?
I've always liked Malachi Black. Aleister Black, I think he's great. But I am unapologetically a Brock Lesnar guy. So I want him to come back because I want some more Brock Lesnar in my life.
That's fair. Yes, you have always been big on the next big thing. How about you, Romeo?
Oh, Charlotte Flair. And I'll give you a male wrestler, Cameron Grimes.
Top Guy JJ?
What was his favorites?
Yeah, right now.
Favorite? I'm like, come on, it's Tribal Chief. It's my favorite right now. If I have to go with if I have go on the lady side, gotta go with Goat Baker DMD.
If I had to give one for the ladies, it would definitely be Thunder Rosa, which reminds me, you could check out the True Hill Heat Twitter page. The announcement is there. We are going to be the official match sponsors on Saturday for Warrior Wrestling when it's Kylie Ray versus Thunder Rosa for the Warrior Wrestling Women's Championship. So I am all for Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa is my current favorite wrestler.
Transition, smooth, effortless.
Man or woman. I would go with Thunder Rosa, and then if I had to give you a man, that's tougher, but I'll go with either Kenny Omega or Miro. Miro's been on the money for me lately. Top Guy JJ, where can they find you on social media, sir?
On Instagram, you can find me at TrueHeal_Top Guy JJ, and on the YouTube channel, you can find me weekly here with SP3 and the lovely Miss Chrissy Love on True Hill Heat every Saturday morning live, on some roundtables here, on some of these specials here, on the like this one, special time right here, special times.
Special time, special week for the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Romeo, you've been doing great things for the channel. Where can they find you?
You can follow me, True Heel Romeo, on Twitter and Instagram, right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Last night, we dropped the Rated Raw Superstars. Check that out, reviewing Raw. The Go Home to SummerSlam. We'll also have NX3 later on this week, covering NXT Title Tuesday. And I'm on a stream every single day this damn week for almost 2 weeks, so you'll see me.
Absolutely. And you can follow me on Twitter at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TrueHillHeat. The whole bunch of SummerSlam content. So remember to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified. There'll be great content every day this week, whether a live stream or signature content. Thank you, EBB, saying great stream, guys. The channel has been killing it, turning into my go-to wrestling channel. We greatly appreciate that. And we also got Fifth Generation saying, good to see Louis on here. His Twitter game is busted, but good to see him on here.
Yeah.
The troll.
I love the acceptance. I love the acceptance. But yes, stick tuned right here to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Later today, we got Fusion of Honor dropping. Like this video, share this video on all your favorite social media platforms. Let us know in the comments down below your predictions for SummerSlam and TakeOver. For Louis Dangoor, for Top Guy JJ, for Romeo, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been our WWE SummerSlam 2021 and NXT TakeOver 36 preview. We are signing off until next time.